Hello and welcome to the Airbuds Podcast. This is a podcast about basketball that is actually a higher quality than what you're hearing. My name is Jamel Johnson.
It really sounded like you said that on 1.4 speed in a podcast player.
You just talked in a big rush today, so we gotta talk at 1.4, Peter.
I'm sped up, dude. I gotta talk real fast. I'm Joey Zuzu, nigga. What the fuck?
We gotta go Micro Machines mode. I'm Mike Better. Hi, how's it going? Happy basketball, everybody.
And I'm Peter Mo.
Oh, we lost Peter. He was sipping lean again.
Oh, no.
Hello. All right. The basketball podcast that refuses to get better. 8 years in, baby.
Whew.
You know, I notice a lot of more basketball podcasts just like ours popping up these days.
Now, okay. I mean, yeah.
Go on.
It's like every week, dude. Every week somebody wants to be funny about basketball.
And you know what? Good for them. Good for them. It's pretty nice. If you can record yourself talking about shooty hoops with your friends, live your life. That's what I say. I say the more the merrier.
I don't know. At what point do we just say, hey, you guys do it. We're done.
That's what it's like. Jumanji, nigga. Y'all next. Hey, take this. 10 years. Have it.
Yeah.
It's all yours.
I'm sick of being Robin Williams. Let The Rock take over.
Yeah, yes.
I gotta go hang myself now.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ!
Well, that was the Robin Williams. He did a little Robin. R.I.P. to
Not a Jumanji though, you know.
R.I.P. to our guy Mork.
Yeah, that's how it ends.
Yeah. It's a cut scene for sure. And then David Allen Greer sees a rhino run past him, and he's like, "Oh Lord."
Oh, we got rhinos now. That's my David Allen Greer. David Allen Greer, one of the most underrated actors in America. But hey, we're in a rush. We got to talk about basketball before we get to that.
Rush.
Guys, we got business to attend to. If you want to support the Buds, go to patreon.com/airbudspod. $5 a month gets you bonus episodes, gets you bonus shows, gets you access to the Discord, in which there is currently a lot of basketball chatter happening. I have been having trouble keeping up with it all weekend long. But it's a great community. $5 a month, patreon.com/airbudspod. If you can't do that, go to Apple Podcasts, go to Spotify, give us a 5-star review. It really helps us out. And that's that.
Bro, I'm out of shape on the hoop grids.
What's that?
I said I'm out of shape on the hoop. I tried to do a hoop grid yesterday and so I could put it in the Discord. You know, the Hoop Grid channel is going nuts, and I almost strained my calf trying to fill out a Hoop Grid yesterday. I didn't mean to cut you off. My bad.
No worries, Peter. Your brother is consistently, I feel like, posting Hoop Grids every day.
Dude, he's a killer on all grids, hoop grids,
that was Ethan.
Ball grids.
Yeah, Peter's walking through traffic. Saw Ethan.
Love grids. You know,
Peter's on the DKE right now, just underwear on.
My place of residence is right underneath where the planes turn to head into the rest of America from JFK. So
you 60 seconds from the towers, like
oh,
Eminem.
Yeah, that's the name of my building, actually. Actually, it's Mom's Spaghetti. That's the name of my building. Yeah, if anyone, by the way, wants to leave us a review on Apple Podcasts and they have any experience with One Medical or tell me what that experience is like. Have you guys ever used One Medical? It's like some Amazon thing that I'm maybe going to have to sign up for to get labs and stuff done. It's like a trendy doctor service. Anyone ever heard of this?
Is those your metadata?
Yeah, why not, man? I'm giving him my data. He already has my metadata.
That's true. I was thinking about your body's metadata. Yeah.
Yeah. So let me know. I just want to go right into it, guys. I saw the most heavily attended Brooklyn Nets game of the season last week and the return of absolutely staunchly mediocre Ben Simmons against my Cleveland Cavaliers, who every time they play, they lose a starter somehow. But
they're down to 3 now, is that right?
Yeah, down. Yeah. And honestly, could have won all the games, could have lost all the games. I will say I do think no 3. They played back to backs. They lost to the Pacers and to the Thunder Chet Holmgren does look like what I wish Evan Mobley could become. I gotta say that.
Did you see him get
Probably,
his ass kicked by Jokic though?
yeah, but I mean, like, what's new? Like, that
And then
doesn't,
after the game, Jokic was like, "He's young. He's got a lot to learn. I think he needs to get really fat."
That's like a Tekken character. That's what somebody would
Yeah.
say. That's what Bob would say.
Holmgren's a fucking bucket, though, man. But honestly, Cam Thomas is the most exciting basketball player in that game that I saw, and it wasn't even close. That
Didn't
guy
he have
is
like
a
a 50-point
absolute.
game last
He
year?
had
Didn't he go
39
for?
points.
Oh, maybe.
He had 39 points in. He was the first. It's the most scored by any player coming off the bench in an opening night in NBA history. He averages as a starter more than like anybody else ever. 7-game sample size. But dude, Ben Simmons doesn't even look at the basket. He like refuses to acknowledge it. And the most fucked up thing about watching Ben Simmons play is because he knows he can't shoot. He has to choose when to celebrate, and he celebrates other people's baskets on an assist like he made the basket himself. So like he makes a pass and then someone gets an and one and he's like pumping his fist and like pumping up the crowd because he has no other time that he's going to be able to perform that feeling other than him just like underhanding it to somebody else to try to hit a layup. It was shocking. I was really, really shocked, and I know we've talked about Ben Simmons a lot on this pod, so I just wanted to come in and say resoundingly they couldn't play him during crunch time. The fans turned on him. He's probably got to be one of the worst max contracts of all time.
I will say he did. We talked about this a little bit on Saturday's Patreon episode, Jamel and I. He did end up having a 10, 10, and 8 game where he was like a net 17 in his second game, which is like pretty good. About as like what you could ask. I mean, he looked awful in the home opener. Exactly what you're saying. Afraid to he once again he passed up a wide open dunk to pass it out for a three that didn't hit. But in game two, he looked like, oh, that's the Ben Simmons you want, a guy that is going to do 10, 10, and 10 and be good on defense.
Yeah,
Still
but that's
maybe the worst max contract of all time. But 10, 10, and 10 is pretty good output from a guy that sucks.
How much did Chandler Parsons get paid? Was he a max contract?
Ooh.
Yes.
Thank you.
At the time, he like it was really rich, but I think it was like probably like 25 mil a year or something.
Crazy. In the flip phone era, though.
Yeah. Peter, let me ask you a question about Ben Simmons as it relates to you and your acting career. I'm sure you've seen people.
Thriving acting career, by the way.
No, well, I know.
An active acting career, too. But yes, go on.
But I know you came up as an actor. You studied acting. You were you're a working class actor in LA for like 10 years.
Actorial.
Took my lunch pail with me to work every day.
Yeah, but I'm sure you know people that were just like
Erewhon.
Open up your dented steel lunch pail to take out a California roll from the Erewhon.
$70 sushi. Yeah.
Yo, can you imagine a guy in a work vest walking into Erewhon? Do you think that's ever happened?
Can I get that $27 lasagna, please?
Now that Carhartt is like just trendy amongst hipsters, I guarantee you there's people that have walked into a Erewhon with a Carhartt work vest on.
Nothing says late stage capitalism like cosplaying as people who have to work for a living.
Yeah.
Sorry, I interrupted you.
But I don't name names, but I'm sure you know many people that are like they're convinced they're the leading man. They're convinced like they are going to be a movie star. Like they've got what it takes. But you look at them and you're like, you're a character actor, bro. Like you got to go for smaller roles. Like you're not. But they're just stuck in this mode of like, I am the next Tom Cruise, and it's kind of like hurting their career almost a little bit. Like because they refuse to go in for roles that they actually should be getting. Is that a thing?
I'll text you guys something, but I would say generally, listen, I feel like not really. I feel like that's more like actually like, you know what I think the better comp is, Mike? Because I feel like if you're getting those auditions anyways, like your career's at a certain place. To me, it reminds me of like when we were coming up, comedians in LA who were convinced they were like bigger in the comedy scene than they were. and were like always the most kind of difficult or unfriendly or annoying people to deal with because they had the slight that they didn't have the success that their cohorts had. I feel like that's more of like a comp where it's like someone who like feels like they're owed so much more. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's like Ben Simmons is like Mark Maron on Air America or something like that.
Well, I guess my theory was just that like Ben Simmons wants to be seen as a point guard, even though he's a 6'10", 250-pound guy that can fly through the fucking air and dunk. He like refuses to dunk because he doesn't want to be seen as a big man. He wants to be seen as the point guard, the leader of the team, which he's capable of being both, but he refuses to kind of even pretend to look like a power forward.
He is like the guy who in the Liberty Mutual commercials who says Liberty Bibberty, but he thinks he should be in Mission Impossible 8.
Yeah,
Ben
okay.
Simmons is Liberty Bibberty. That's who he is.
Well,
Hilarious and short stints, but not a sustainable thing for an 82 game career.
And I'm also
Hilarious.
glad that
It's
Liberty Bibberty, I'm glad he's back.
Yeah.
I'm glad they brought him back as well.
Same. Honestly, it was great. It was great to see him. Was it great to see him?
It's really good to see Liberty Bibberty back.
We should get Liberty Bibberty on and to continue our series on commercial actors whose commercials appear during NBA games.
That's not bad.
Yeah. Speaking of Ben
It went
Simmons,
so well last time. Yeah.
he once dated a Kardashian. And now, guys, it was announced this morning on Kim Kardashian's Instagram feed in a post that featuring a photo shoot with Adam Silver, which is pretty funny. Skims, her underwear line, is now the official underwear partner of the WNBA, USA Basketball, and of course, the NBA.
Bro, and USA Basketball? Crazy.
Hasn't Kardashian and underwear been the unofficial NBA underwear for quite some time?
I think you might be right. It's been in locker rooms across the league for several seasons.
Now you can just wear it officially.
Are they good draws?
I was about to ask. So they only announced that they're unrolling their men's line last week with a post where if you're interested, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is in the nude. I think you can kind of see the outline of his little weenie if you care about that. Oh man, I don't have that.
That was all. No, that just take this was. I know you. I know I triggered you. I know I triggered you big, but I just wanted to. It seemed like it needed a little whistle.
I do just want to throw out there when the Cavs played the Thunder, Shai had such an incredible game because he kind of just like picked his spots, was hitting like 15-footers, 8-footers the whole time. And then when they came back in like the last 2 minutes, they were down like 8 with like 2 minutes to go. He just like, I think he was probably 2 for 2 from 3-pointers, but it was just kind of like a guy who's hitting a 3-pointer and like you immediately knew it was going to go the fuck in. And he's just such a calm, amazing player to watch who, when you're also playing him, you're like, Jesus fucking Christ, he's going to get whatever the hell he wants. And it's, yeah, I'm all in on that dude. I think probably as the first team point guard in NBA first team.
Wow.
Was the NBA first team last year?
I believe he was second team last year.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you don't react to anything seriously until January, but I don't know, man. He looks spectacular.
I mean, Peter, the three of us have been saying he's awesome since he was a Clipper. Remember?
I mean, he was great on the Clippers
at one point.
What did they trade him for? What did they trade him for?
Paul George and a pack of peanuts.
Hey, you know what though? Paul George, I think I watched him have 5 steals in a quarter last night.
Well, let's talk about that. Jamel Johnson went last night to watch the Los Angeles Clippers play Victor Wembenyama and the San Antonio Spurs. Jamel, what were your impressions?
My impressions was the Clippers look good and no one cares. And I think that's good for them. Like, it was crazy to, like, the ticket prices are dropping. It's like, this is the best Clippers team. Like, Kawhi's playing. Everybody's available. They look great. You got the number 1 pick coming in. This guy's 7'5", and the ticket prices are just falling and falling and falling. And like
What
even
did
in
you
the,
finally? What'd you get your ticket for?
I mean, it was 40 to get in the building. It was 40
That's
for
crazy.
like center court at the 300s. And then I find myself in the suite section. My boy, alternate Mike, he's like, "Oh, dag, I didn't know these was the suite seats. We in there with this Japanese family, just posted up."
Who's this alternate Mike?
Well, there's a guy named Mike, but he's Mike too. So I don't feel comfortable calling him Mike 1 on this show.
I don't like that you got another Mike in your life.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I mean, listen, dude, I leave, I'm out, I meet Mikes. Point is, I'm at the game, and then there's like, it was a good crowd, and like the traffic still wasn't bad leaving the stadium. I will say downtown is a little intense. Somebody came and emptied out all the trash cans on the street. I don't think I'd ever seen that before. Like someone came and took all the city trash cans for 3 blocks and emptied all of them shits on the street leading to the stadium.
I don't mean to laugh. I'm just like shit in New York is like fucking insane a lot. Subways or just like shit that you like see. But I don't know, man. Downtown LA has its own spice to it in a way that like is kind of unparalleled. It's like
Yeah,
I don't
way
know,
more
man.
people, way more people laying down in your walking path.
It's
You know what? Downtown area has kind of started to rival even that, in my experience. Portland, Oregon. The downtown
I was gonna say
Yeah.
Vancouver, Canada too. Like
Vancouver's
Vancouver's
also
like
crazy.
The
Yeah,
Pacific Northwest got a little methy. There's some meth that got up in there, and I think it's in LA as well.
yeah. There's definitely like a little bit of a. It's great to see that like public services are failing its citizens all over the country, whether we're talking about Southern California, the Pacific Northwest, New York. No one's getting the help they need.
Yeah, it's really fucked up.
Yeah,
The Clippers, meanwhile, they're thriving in this environment. The Clippers
they
are
are thriving
playing.
in chaos. 7 players in double figures last night.
Dog, it was nuts, bro. Russ is cash from the corner. Kawhi's hitting people with crazy assists. He's palming that shit like Jordan again. But like I said, Paul George had 5 steals in the first quarter. Could not miss. He looked like one of the greatest players I ever seen. He looked like Brandon Miller was right. People should be admiring this guy, and like he is the best player. Like it was really it was cool. And Wemby, I mean, whatever, man. The Spurs or whatever, they're still the Spurs. He had he had like 3 of the freakiest tip-ins I ever seen. But for the most
they
part,
happen.
he just got
Speaking
clamped
of
up.
I don't mean to keep talking about commercials, but there's like 2 sets of commercials right now happening during NBA and NFL games where like someone's arm extends like 700 feet to like a different place than where they are. Someone's like, "Oh, I want to turn something on in my car," and then their arm like goes up from a stadium and like into the parking lot. And that's what I feel like it must be like to see Wembenyama live, where you're like a tip in is taking place from like the third rebound spot on the key, and you're just like, how is that functionally? Did it look like disproportionate to anything you've ever seen on a basketball court?
For sure. But just like in short spurts, because the Clippers are also one of the few teams with a real like big man. So, I think it was a unique problem matchup for him just, needing to hit the gym for a couple years, but
I think
yeah,
that Ty Lue is kind of the perfect coach for this team. There's like a very like we don't give a fuck about anything vibe for everybody involved for all these different reasons. And it does, I don't know. I feel like this is the perfect kind of team for Ty Lue. Makes me think of his championship run with the Cavs, where it's just like all these veterans who like he'll get their buy-in no matter what the hell is going on. Um, I love the zigging here that like the Lakers, I mean the Clippers. I don't know. They could be better than the Lakers this year, and everyone's like Lakers are maybe going to the finals, and no one is giving them a second thought because they've just pissed everyone off for the last 4 years.
I think that it is valid to think the Clippers are not as good as they may appear because, again, Kawhi Leonard and Paul George missed so much time. And will this new Adam Silver, you have to play if you're on TV rule affect? Like, will we get more Kawhi and Paul George? Let's see. But I think in the meantime, Jamel's right. They're flying under the radar. No one knows. Everybody's kind of written them off because people think that Kawhi and Paul George don't play. Russell Westbrook, people think is bad. So, like, let's take advantage of these cheap Clippers tickets we're about to get.
Yo, now's the time. This team they're good. I don't know where Terrence Mann is. Is he just hurt right now? He was like the only person that didn't play, but
Terrence Mann is probably on ice awaiting the Harden trade to be completed.
yep, because Bones Highland look good, and I don't think you need. I mean, I don't know, man. They seem fine. They didn't miss any Terrence Mann last night. I like Terrence Mann.
I don't even think we mentioned the score, by the way. Clippers beat the Spurs by 40, 123 to 83.
Killed the Spurs, bro. It was
Yep.
And then you know what else happened at the end of the game? They started doing something that I've never seen before. Maybe because it was a blowout, but the entire last minute of the game, the PA played the intro to Papa Was a Rolling Stone.
For the whole minute?
Like the whole, you know how that instrumental is like,
Boom,
wow,
boom.
wow, wow, wow,
Boom,
wow,
boom.
wow,
Boom, boom.
the
That's a
whole
lot.
thing.
I think that intro is like 3 minutes long.
I had never seen no shit like that before. I didn't know what it meant, but I did like it.
I went down based on some texting that you guys were doing earlier. I did go down a rabbit hole at 5:30 in the morning with a screaming baby about the Levert family, the deep musical stylings of the Levert family.
Oh yes, of course, our favorite, one of our favorite families.
I don't know.
And
Wait, tell me about the musical stylings.
Well, Karis's uncle and his great uncle, Karis's uncle and his uncle's dad were in a big soul group called the OJs.
OJs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, money, money, money. But I was going down the rabbit hole for you were talking about with Gerald Levert.
Yeah, that's the kid of the OJs is Gerald Levert.
Right.
Who he rules.
A lot of Cleveland connections there. He passed away maybe of like pneumonia or something in Cleveland, but at his wiki it says he was at the time of his death, he was actually getting ready to film a VH1 reality show with him and 12 of his female fans that were going to be in a mansion, all doing a weight loss competition together.
What?
And I was like, that is a movie that I would like to see.
Yeah, it would have been tight. Jamie Foxx would have showed up for some reason. Anita Baker's there. Patti LaBelle might have brought some pies at the very end after everybody loses the weight. She brings some pies by.
Yeah, because you mentioned Johnny Gill, and I was like, I stumbled down a rabbit hole there that was pretty far. And yeah, now Karis is in Cleveland, so it all comes full circle.
He's going to start an R&B group soon.
So the Cavs got to sign Oladipo.
It's time for Oladipo to start singing. I don't know where he is, but we need an album, bro.
The Hooping Crooner? I think we absolutely need it.
Didn't he come out and didn't he sing New York, New York and then dunk?
Yeah,
but he sang it so poorly.
He sang it poorly
so bad.
And then had one of the worst dunk contest performances ever.
Start spreading the news. I was like, kind of like.
Guys, last night the Atlanta Hawks beat the Milwaukee Bucks by 17 in winning their first game, so they are now 1-2. But I have a question for you guys. Trae Young doesn't look very good this season so far.
Counterpoint, did he look good ever?
When he was beating the shit out of the Sixers when they upset him in the playoffs, he did.
You mean good physically?
Good
in general. In general, yes, physically, mentally, basketball-y.
So then how do they pull off last night? If he's bad.
Well, okay, so he still passes the ball really well, but I think he was 5 of 17 last night for 12 points.
Yeah,
that's not a very good.
That's not what
that's
you
not
like to see.
Very good for your guy that is supposed to be like your main offensive weapon.
Yeah, he's not. It's like less weapon. That's a dull knife.
It's a very dull knife. That's a butter knife that you have scraped on the ground a bunch.
Trae Young's hair kind of looks like a spork.
Yeah, actually, you're right. It does.
You got, for you to be saying that in the middle of the Van Wyck, it's amazing. It's a testament.
What's that character's name in Toy Story 4, Mike?
Forky?
Forky? Yeah. It's kind of
I
like the
think
Forky of the NBA.
you were overthinking it, Peter. Just say what it is, and you would have gotten it.
Bruce. Yeah, it was Bruce. I think it was Bruce.
Uh, I do want to point out that Joel Embiid played very well against the Toronto Raptors, back in MVP shape apparently, and I can see what he played pretty well against the Bucks. They ended up losing that game by 1 point, but last night he had
Dog, he
35
was great
points.
against the Bucks.
Yeah, he
Except for
was
that
incredible
one
last night.
volleyball thing that he did where he just like slapped it to the other team in a very crucial part of the game.
Yeah, I mean, look, he was definitely checked out or not checked in yet for the first half of that game, and then the second half he played great. If they either had James Harden or Joel Embiid for an entire 4 quarters, they probably would have beaten the Bucks.
Is Terrence Mann enough?
I don't want Terrence Mann, bro.
I mean, but you're about to get him.
We'll see. James Harden, I think, was in attendance at the game last night.
He should
But
stay with Philly, and they should not make this trade.
I agree. I think it's too far gone at this point, though.
Yeah, but nothing's
But
over
why does James
real,
get to?
you know?
Why does he get to decide that he's got to go ruin the Clippers? Just stay with Philly and just ruin Philly. Why are you making? Why you gotta go ruin the Clippers? You see how good they are. Stay in Philadelphia, man. Don't do this.
I mean, if I'm the Clippers, what's my rush to do this?
There's no
What's my
rush.
rut?
There's no rush for anybody.
Except for me, I'm in a rush.
Yeah,
Forgot
you gotta
that.
go.
Remember that? No, not right now. Just that was my remember that bit from 20 minutes ago.
Riveting.
There's currently 6 undefeated teams left. I love Peter
Ooh.
doesn't do any prep work, doesn't he shows up late and then he's just like wow guys, riveting stuff. It's like you bring something to the table, Peter.
Well, he gets the.
You see my
he brought-
hat? I
Yeah,
talked
he
about
brought the
Ben
hat.
Simmons. I talked about Trae Young looking like a spork. Like, what are you talking about?
He's doing stuff.
I bring the fucking heat, dog.
I
That's a good
I haven't said shit on
I'm
this
on 3
episode,
hours
bro.
of sleep right now.
I got nothing, man. I've been dragging ass. I mean, I don't want to. I'm afraid to talk about what I want to talk about because I don't want to even acknowledge that it happened.
Are we talking about CP?
Well, no, I'm talking about the Wizards winning a game.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about Cappy Pondexter.
Oh no, Cappy Pondexter thinks Tupac is alive. That's all I want to talk about.
For those that aren't aware, WNBA legend Cappy Pondexter posts from time to time on her Instagram feed some very interesting stuff. Today, it was a picture of Tupac holding an imaginary gun, and the caption, "He be around, dot, dot, dot."
He's around. Just said Tupac's around. Around you currently? Where?
Yeah. Have you seen him? Have you talked to him? Is this a current picture, Cappy?
Just let us know.
Maybe she was just quoting his song, you know?
Oh, right.
Oh, that I've been around. But I don't know, son.
I mean, he was featured on it. It was a song he was featured on. Is that more appropriate?
No, that's his song.
I think that's the song, though.
That's his. I've been around.
Who was it? The Digital Underground?
Well, they featured, bro, because that's on his shit.
I will say she does tend to delete other posts that are kind of weird, right?
She loves
She'll
a
post
temporary
weird one
grid.
and then delete it. Yeah. So you better go check out the Tupac one now while it's still up, because otherwise it's going to be a bunch of basketball throwback photos.
Might be gone by the time this gets posted. Anyway,
You're
Wizards won, and I don't think it's real.
Wizards won, and Kyle Kuzma and Jordan Poole connection seems real.
I mean, it's the Tyus Jones connection, bro. I guess they let Poole have the ball in his hands. And then kind of late in the game, it was like, all right, Kuzma, go post up a bunch. I don't know, man. We beat the Grizzlies, who that's not their real team yet. So does this count?
I think he counts. I think the Grizzlies have proven that they're good without Ja Morant and without Steven Adams, so I think this counts as a win. And I think you guys are actually more better and fun than you are giving it credit to. I
I
know you're
can't give it
afraid to
credit.
say that they're good or fun, but I think they are.
I am so scared. That game was good. We were up like 25 at one point, but then we did classic Wizards. It's still Wizards. Like even when we blow a team out, it'll still end up being like a two possession game by the end. No matter, we could be up 70 and we'll blow a 70-point lead.
Bro, that is how I feel about the Sixers every time.
Really? I mean, at least you guys win way more games though,
That's true.
on average of gaming.
Well, well, well. Peter has brought a baby on the screen.
Peter got a baby on the show.
Doug,
Peter got a baby. Peter got a
my
baby.
life is a baby.
Peter's left a baby.
Show Liz.
Well, what do you say we wrap this up? Is there anything else we want to talk about before we get out of here?
Somebody say something about the Timberwolves right now.
They seem fine.
Damn.
Shout out to Timberwolves Brazil, the Twitter account that I believe is gone by now. Has anybody seen that?
Yeah, I saw the wolf. What was he sucking a guy? He was
The wolf was sucking another human wolf like a dick. It was crazy.
dog. That was one of the nuttiest videos. How was that a video?
I don't know, man. But I don't know. I haven't watched any Timberwolves yet. You know, it's still early in the season. How are they looking? They're 1-1. Is Rudy Gobert good?
I mean, he seems fine. Did they beat Miami? They beat Miami, lost to Toronto. Is that their deal so far? But it was
I
Miami without no Jimmy, so perfect situation
Right.
for Carl to do his thing.
They were. Jimmy was on the bench in street clothes at the end of the game. The fans were yelling, "Where is Jimmy? Where is Jimmy?" And Jimmy Butler stood up and blew kisses to the crowd, which perfect move by Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy, all class, all the time.
Yeah, just villainous look on his face. Shout out, friend of the podcast, Edgar Mumpelseer, by the way, who went as emo Jimmy Butler for Halloween this year.
Pretty good.
Yeah, had a full uniform and the wig and everything.
Because it's an anime costume and it's a basketball costume and it's an emo costume. You could wear it to any kind of Halloween party.
It's true. It's very true. Let's see. Yeah, they lost to the Raptors 97-94 and then beat the Heat by 16, 106-90.
Are the Raptors good?
Raptors are what, 1-1 or
Also probably 1-1.
I don't know.
No,
They looked really bad against the Sixers, or at least like the Sixers were good against them. I don't know. And then obviously they beat the Timberwolves, which is not saying a whole lot. I think what did the odds have them at? Like 44 wins? Is that right, Peter? Do you remember all the over and under?
Everyone in the West was 44 and a
Got it.
half. The whole West, other than the Nuggets, was 44 and a half.
Got it. Good thing the Raptors are in the East.
yeah, no, did not remember the Raptors at all.
Oh, the
Gotcha.
Nuggets? I thought you were talking about the Wolves. I mean, the Raptors. The Raptors were like 38 or something like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know. They're not that great.
Nothing for
We'll
Dick,
see.
no Grady Dick. You guys don't got nothing for Dick?
Nothing for Dick is like a great T-shirt idea.
Hey,
Nothing
write
for
it
Dick?
down.
Question mark with the raptor claw marks going through it. I think that's good. I think we got to start selling that.
All right, get it mocked up. Get it mocked up.
All right. Well, I think that Riverside ate our soundboard again for the second episode in a row because the outro is not playing. Do you guys hear it?
No, I believe it's there.
Well, guess who's gonna?
Thank you
guys for listening. We love you. Bye.
Woo woo. Damn, son, where'd you find this? He's so tight he squeaks when he walks. Woo woo. Jabba-doo.